Did you know that losing your spouse can actually increase your risk of passing away within the first 90 days? Imagine looking at an empty chair across the dinner table. That is when your body and mind face real risks. This is called the widowhood effect. And it's not just about feeling sad. A 2013 study found a 66% higher death rate in the first 3 months after losing a spouse, showing how deeply grief can affect your health. But here's the good news. There are proven ways to protect yourself during this difficult period. In this video, we'll share practical steps you can take to navigate grief safely and start rebuilding your life. It's important to understand that grief isn't just an emotional experience. Your body can also feel the impact in ways you might not expect. The silent danger. Understanding the widowhood effect. This silent danger, known as the widowhood effect, can sneak up on you in ways you might not recognize at first. When a spouse passes away, the changes in your daily routine and sense of security can set off a chain reaction in the body. Researchers have found that grief can trigger a surge of stress hormones, making it harder for your body to function as usual. Your immune system weakens, leaving you more open to illness, while your appetite and sleep patterns can shift dramatically. In fact, a 2018 study from Rice University found that people experiencing intense grief after losing a spouse had up to 17% higher levels of inflammation in their bodies. This kind of inflammation is linked to serious health risks, including heart attack and stroke. One of the most striking examples of grief's impact on the body is a condition called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, sometimes called broken heart syndrome. This condition, which mostly affects women after a sudden loss, causes part of the heart to temporarily weaken. The symptoms can feel just like a heart attack, with chest pain and trouble breathing. While most people recover with time, it's a reminder that loss isn't just a feeling. It can show up as real physical pain. If you were a caregiver before your spouse passed, you may have postponed your own checkups or medication. This self-neglect can worsen grief's toll. It's easy to put your needs last, but these habits can linger into the grieving period, making recovery even harder. There are a couple of simple steps you can take to protect your health during this time. First, try to drink water throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. Dehydration can sneak up on you, especially when your routine is disrupted. Second, take short walks outside each day. Even a brief stroll can help regulate your blood pressure and give your mind a gentle break from the weight of loss. Understanding these physical reactions is the first step to taking care of yourself. But grief isn't just about what happens to your body. It also brings a storm of emotions that can catch you off guard at any moment. Riding the emotional roller coaster. Some days you may notice your emotions shifting quickly. One moment you're feeling steady, and the next a surge of anger or sadness appears out of nowhere. This unpredictable ride is a hallmark of grief, especially in the first year. Many people describe moments like quietly crying over morning coffee, then finding themselves laughing at a silly TV show by lunchtime. These swings are not a sign that something is wrong with you. They're actually a common part of how people process loss, as documented in research on the first year after losing a spouse. You might find yourself feeling a deep ache when handling everyday tasks alone, like paying bills or cooking dinner. Yet, joy can still surface. Maybe you catch yourself smiling at a grandchild's joke or enjoying a sunny afternoon. These brighter moments often bring a heavy sense of guilt. It's normal to wonder, how can I feel happy when they're gone? This guilt is common, but it doesn't mean you loved your spouse any less. Allowing yourself small moments of happiness is part of healing, not a betrayal. Grief experts remind us that there's no single path through loss. The process isn't a straight line, and you may revisit feelings over and over, sometimes in a different intensity or order than you expect. It's not unusual to feel acceptance one day, only to wake up the next morning overwhelmed by sadness or anger again. This back and forth can be frustrating, but it's a natural part of adjusting to life without your partner. Taking on new responsibilities alone can feel daunting, especially if your spouse used to handle certain tasks. Instead of trying to master everything at once, focus on one small thing at a time. Ask a neighbor or community volunteer for help with something practical, like learning how to reset the thermostat or fix a leaky faucet. Many communities offer widow-to-widow programs where people who have been through similar experiences can guide you through these challenges in a supportive way. When grief feels especially heavy, it can help to set gentle boundaries for yourself. Try setting a timer for 15 minutes. During that time, allow yourself to fully feel and express your emotions, whether that means crying, writing a letter to your spouse, or looking through old photos. When the timer ends, shift your attention to something else, like taking a walk or calling a friend. This approach, drawn from grief therapy, gives your feelings space but also helps prevent them from taking over your entire day. Nighttime can be especially tough, so keep a notepad by your bed. When you miss your spouse, write down a memory you want to keep. Over time, these notes can become a comforting collection of cherished moments. If you notice that weeks have passed and you're still struggling to eat, shower, or take care of daily needs, it may be time to reach out for professional support. Seeking help isn't a sign of weakness. It's an important step, just like seeing a doctor for ongoing physical pain. For most people, these emotional ups and downs gradually soften, but sometimes the pain lingers much longer than expected. When grief won't let go, sometimes grief doesn't fade as the months go by. Instead, it lingers and makes daily life feel nearly impossible. This is called complicated grief, and it affects about 7% of people, according to the Mayo Clinic's definition of persistent complex bereavement disorder. This isn't just deep sadness. It's a condition where intrusive thoughts and an inability to resume daily life persist beyond a year, per clinical studies. People with complicated grief often feel stuck, unable to move through the pain or find relief in the routines that once brought comfort. For example, someone might leave a spouse's belongings untouched for years, not because they're holding on to memories, but because the idea of making any change feels unbearable. It's more than just keeping mementos. It's feeling like the loss is still as fresh as the day it happened. Other signs include replaying the final days over and over, feeling as if part of yourself died with your loved one, or struggling to find any meaning in daily life. Neglecting important appointments or failing to care for personal hygiene are also common signs, as mental health authorities note. Complicated grief can take a toll on both mind and body. People may have trouble sleeping or eating even months after the loss. Intrusive thoughts about the death can pop up during everyday activities, and some find it hard to imagine a future that isn't filled with pain. These aren't signs of weakness. They're symptoms that professional help could ease. Grief experts recommend evidence-based approaches like complicated grief therapy, CGT, and cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, for this condition. These therapies are designed to help you process the loss and slowly rebuild your life. A therapist might guide you through writing exercises, visiting meaningful places, or planning small, manageable steps toward change. CBT can help untangle thoughts like moving on means forgetting them, and provide tools to manage overwhelming emotions. Certain factors can make complicated grief more likely, such as sudden or traumatic loss, a history of depression or anxiety, or having limited social support. Getting counseling soon after a loss may help prevent complicated grief, especially if you feel overwhelmed or isolated. Many community centers, hospices, and religious organizations offer low-cost or free support groups, so help is often closer than you think. If you notice that daily routines like showering or preparing meals still feel impossible after several months, or if you avoid all reminders of your spouse, it may be time to reach out for support. Therapy remains the most effective treatment, though medication can sometimes help with severe sleep or anxiety issues. Grief doesn't follow a set timeline. While many people start to adjust within 6 months, others need more time, and that's okay. What matters is whether the pain is easing, even a little, or if it remains just as intense and disabling. Like a bone that sometimes needs help to heal, complicated grief often requires the right support to move forward. Even when grief feels unmovable, there are ways to begin again. Small steps, taken at your own pace, can help you discover new meaning and purpose. Rebuilding your life, one step at a time. After the loss, daily routines and future plans can feel unfamiliar, leaving you unsure of who you are without your spouse. This period is often about more than just getting by. It's a time to gently explore parts of yourself that might have been set aside over the years. Many people find that the sense of purpose they once shared as a couple needs to be rebuilt in new ways. Take Helen, for example. After her husband passed, she decided to join a community painting class, a hobby she'd put off for decades. At first, picking up a paintbrush felt strange, and she worried that enjoying something new might mean leaving her husband's memory behind. But as weeks passed, she found herself absorbed in painting landscapes of places they once visited together. Research supports Helen's experience. Learning new skills or hobbies helps create fresh neural pathways in the brain, which can aid in healing and help you find new meaning after loss. Trying a new activity doesn't have to be a big leap. Volunteering in your community or signing up for a class at a local center can bring structure to your days and open the door to new friendships. These experiences not only fill time, but can also help you reconnect with interests or values that may have been put on hold. Even small steps, like helping at a food bank or attending a group for seniors, can make a real difference in how you feel. It's also important to balance time alone with time spent around others. Dr. Alan Wolfeld, a leading voice in grief support, reminds us that finding the right mix of solitude and social support is key. Sometimes progress feels slow or even backwards, but every effort helps you move forward. On days when you need quiet, give yourself permission to reflect or rest. On other days, making plans with a friend or joining a club can offer comfort and a sense of belonging. Remember, rediscovering purpose takes time. Clinical psychologist George Bonanno found that about half of people begin to feel some relief within 6 months. But everyone's timeline is different. It's okay if your progress feels slow or uneven. If you're unsure where to start, ask yourself, what's one small class or volunteer project you could try this week? Even a single step can help you reconnect with yourself and the world around you. As you continue on this path, you'll notice that the sharpest edges of grief may begin to soften, making space for new routines and gentle hope. Moving forward after loss isn't easy, but there are 3 simple things you can do. Take care of yourself, stay connected with others, and try something new. Practicing self-care, like eating regular meals and getting enough rest, helps your body recover. Reaching out to friends, family, or a support group can ease loneliness. Exploring a small new activity, even just a hobby at home, can bring a sense of purpose back into your days. Dear beloved friends, our hearts go out to those of you navigating the profound loss of a spouse. We know this journey through widowhood can feel incredibly heavy, and we want you to know you're not alone. Your strength and resilience inspire us all, and we hope the tips shared in today's video bring a bit of comfort and light to your days. Keep surrounding yourself with love, whether through cherished memories, supportive friends, or new adventures. Thank you for being part of our beloved seniors community. We're here for you. With all our warmth, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.